Hi guys, welcome back to BeeGee.asmr. Sorry this video has been so long from the last one. I've just not been well, been busy with work. But yeah. Consistency is gonna have to pick up, I think, because even though this office, lots of people are commenting, the people that are commenting seem to be liking the videos, so I shall try my best to make more and more often and more consistently for you guys. Once again, I would like to say thank you very much for all of the comments. I really do appreciate them. It means more, But before we get started, don't forget to tell somebody you love them, or make somebody smile today. Because why not? You might just save a life, or you might just help someone out. Anyway, we are going to carry on with the crime stories. The short crime stories. We have one here, which I am going to do, and it is called The Murdering Postal Woman. It's either Lena Clark or Lena Clark. We're gonna go Lena because it's easier to say. In 1921, in early July of 1921. Oh, just before I start, if you get a sec, please like the video and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have time. It's very helpful. Thank you. Let's begin. In early July. Oh, I know I keep stopping. My bad. But I just want to let you know that again, I don't know this story. Someone said in the last video that they enjoyed the comments that I made on them. That was genuinely, I think, me just thinking aloud. So I think that's part of the fact that I don't actually know what's going to happen in these, so I've done the same again. I haven't read any of this. I don't know what it's going to say or what has happened, so your discretion is advised. If this crime things and stuff can trigger you, then this might not be the video for you. Okay, so in early July of 1921, West Palm Beach postmistress Lena Clark embezzled $41,000 from two registry money bags that were being sent to the Federal Reserve by a local bank. 41,000. This is in 1921. That's a lot of money back then. A lot of money back then. I mean, it's a lot of money now, but that's a hell of a lot of money back then. Yeah, they were sent to the Federal Reserve by a local bank on July the 26th. The money was discovered missing, and 1 week later, Miss Clark appeared at an Orlando, Florida police station and told officers that the man who embezzled the money could be found at the San Juan Hotel. There, they discovered the body of Fred Miltmore, who had been drugged and then shot in the head. They also found the two empty money bags, which had been slashed open with a knife. The Orlando officers then telephoned back to the police station that Miltmore had been murdered. The chief of police in several bizarre statements regarding the predicament. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I'm kind of laughing at my own reading skills. I don't know what I thought that said, but you know when you read a word and it doesn't make sense, but then when you work out what it is, it totally makes sense. Anyway, the chief of police interrogated Clark, and after she made several bizarre statements regarding her predicament, she finally confessed to both the murder and the theft. That was quick. Her embezzlement of the money, she explained, was part of her effort to cover up the theft of registered bank money she had stolen in 1918. Wait, so she stole money to cover up the fact that she stole money? Are you listening? Okay. Anyway, to cover up the money she stole in 1918 while she was the assistant postmistress. During the investigation into that incident, Clark had tried to cast suspicion. Miltmore, who was already... Right, okay, so she's tried to, during the investigation into that one, she's tried to make it out like this Miltmore guy who was in line to be the postmaster. She's trying to make it like out it was him who's done it. I'm assuming she was either jealous of him or he was just the easiest fall guy for her, or what she thought was going to be the easiest. She eventually got the job instead. Wow. By then, Miltmore had already quit the post office and opened a restaurant. Before he left, he accused Clark of stealing the money. After many confessions, which were all recanted, Clark finally stated that she had followed Miltmore from West Palm Beach to Orlando and lured him up to her hotel room. Quotation mark, I shot Miltmore. I did it after attempting to make him sign a statement that he had committed the robbery. He wouldn't sign it, and in desperation I shot him. End of quotation. During her time in jail, Clark wrote and sent poetry and letters to her many supporters on a small typewriter she had been given by a friend. Although police investigated several prominent men from Florida to New York as possible accomplices, no connection could be established. In the early 20th century, Maine's, a woman could not pull off a crime like this by herself. There had to be a man helping her. Oh, okay. That's not it saying that that's the truth. That's saying that in the minds of the not so evolved people back then, a woman couldn't pull off a crime like this. Only a man could. So they're saying that they were looking to find somebody that was helping her, because there was no way that she could have done it by herself, pretty much. Which is absolutely ridiculous, if we're being totally honest. I mean, men and women do have different properties, to be honest, but if we're talking about thinking out how a crime works, you telling me a woman wouldn't do that better than a man? I think you are crazy. And that is me generalizing. But I know that there's more women in my life that could plan a successful crime than there is men. Because the men are too thoughtless and egotistical. I think, in my opinion. The men that I know. That is not me saying all men or all women. By the way. In short, these people were stupid back then, and they didn't think women were smart. Yeah, pretty much. Anyway. While in jail, Miss Clark's physical appearance and odd behaviour as a feminine Jekyll and Hyde were noted by a newspaper writer. Lena Mary Thankful Clark. Well then, if you please, is a queer combination. A bundle of contradictions. Alright, okay, that must have been her name. Okay, so Mrs. Clark is a queer combination. A bundle of contradictions in personal appearance and dress. She is far from attractive. Her figure is heavy and uncorseted. Is that like the things women wear? A corset? I think. Her figure is heavy and uncorseted, and her claws smack of the backwoods. What on earth does the way she looks have anything to do with a robbery? Just useless information. We carry on. Her shoes are generally without heels, and her stockings of cotton. Her skin is very fine in texture, but covered with large, disfiguring freckles. Miss Clark only asset in appearance, or her hair. You mean it's her hair, I think. Well, which is naturally wavy, and her eyes deep blue in colour, and absolutely straight and withering in her gaze. She has cultivated a habit of a straight and steady look, believing a directness of gaze to a psychological winner in dealing with human nature. Miss Clark is a firm believer in the power of will. She informed the post office inspector when he confronted her with the supposed knowledge that his shortage was known to him, that it was a question of his will against hers, and that hers was the mastermind, defying him to place the blame on her. Okay, I think this woman might need to go to a hospital. If I'm being totally honest. She is not all there. But anyway, when asked about his daughter, Rev T.A. Clark of Atlanta, Georgia, declared the law of man. Anyway, quotation marks, I should say. The law of man may declare our daughter a robber and murderess, but in the sight of God and her aged father and mother, she is an innocent newborn babe. End quotation marks. Okay, she wasn't brought up by a very all-there person either, by the sounds of things. On December 3rd, 1921, after deliberating for just 2 hours, a Florida jury found Lena Mary Thankful Clark not guilty of murder by reason of insanity, and she was committed to an insane asylum. Like, that would be what I would have suggested. I am not an expert, don't get me wrong. And yes, it does sound like it was planned, in the sense of she's lured him to a place. Did it say followed and then lured him to a room? Followed him to a place and then lured him up to the room. That kind of tells me it's planned, premeditated and all that type of stuff, but I do think she's mad. Anyway, found her not guilty of murder by reason delusion of insanity, and she was committed to an insane asylum. Her stay here appears to have been brief, and by 1930 she was living with her sister Maud and 80-year-old mother Marietta at 414 Banyan Boulevard in West Palm Beach. Her occupation at the time appears to have been nurse, although the handwriting of the census official is barely eligible. By 1940, Lena and Maud, both unmarried spinsters, were still living at the same address. By then, Lena's occupation was listed as a writer. Dude. What? Why am I reading? When did you... Right, that is the story finished. Oh, I'm so sorry, I just had the mic. That's a story finished. Okay. But... December 3rd, 1921 is when she got sent to the insane asylum. By 1940... No, that's not right. By 1930, she was living with her sister. So 9 years after she was put in an insane asylum for killing somebody. 9 years after she was let out. I think, that's absolutely crazy. Hey, can we not do this? Can we not just do this, okay? If you kill somebody, how do I say this? If you're up to the age of 50, the person that you've killed, if the person that dies is up to the age of 50, you take that number off 100, and whatever's left, that's how many years they get. So say they kill a 50-year-old, they get 50 years. Oh no, that wouldn't work. I'm starting to now realise that someone could do that by accident, and then one could be like a brutal murder. And then the age doesn't really matter, does it? Hey, how about if you just kill someone on purpose, you don't get out? Isn't that the similar solution? I don't know. I'm not a judge. I'm not an expert. I don't have a clue. I do not have a clue. Well, this video seems to be quite a long one, to be honest. Oh yeah, 18 minutes already. And a lot of these videos are not showing up as the short ones anymore. But I was gonna do another one, but watch this. Yes, I think I did this one last time. It's too short. Triple slayer. Okay, we're gonna go for another one real quick, okay? I was gonna end the video there, but why not just make a longer video? No, that's just why not? Okay, let's go then. This one is called the Acid Doctor, the most horrendous murder in American history. This is 1962. One of the most painful and horrific murders in American history was committed by Hungarian-born Dr. Geza Capellini. Dr. Geza Di Capellini. There we go. His jealousy and insecurities led him to torturing his young wife to death by pouring acid. Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, please don't listen to this if you have trigger warnings. This could be very, very triggering by the sound of this, okay? Okay, you ready? Thanks. Okay. So, I don't know if I want to read this. Anyway. The jealousy and insecurities led him to torturing his young wife by pouring acid on her as she was bound to the bed in her San Jose, California home on August the 27th, 1962. Beautiful Enya Di Capellini, a 25-year-old model, did not die right away. Police were alerted to her home when neighbors complained of loud music and wailing of somebody in pain. Wait, so he's playing music to try and block out his noise. Some of these people are disgusting, man. When the ambulance attendants arrived, their hands were burned and they tried to handle the body. Enya, unfortunately, lived for 33 more days in hospital. Oh, wow. Where her mother prayed for her death, and the attending nurses were barely able to look upon the damage Di Capellini had caused. Can I just say, for this man to make somebody's mother pray for her daughter to die so that her life could be easier, I hope this man rots in hell for more than eternity. I hope he feels his acid burns in hell for the rest of time. Disgusting. I lost where I am because of how vile that was. Right. Oh my god. One observer wrote, veteran crime writer Carl Safikis said it was the most horrendous single murder in American history. During his trial, Di Capellini pleaded not guilty, and not guilty by reason of insanity. Lies, if you ask me, just in case you're wondering. My opinion, not true. He is not insane. He's stupid. He's an idiot. And he wants everything to himself. And that's a problem. That's not insane. Might be mental problems, but it's not insane. Ew. Disgusting. Hey. I just thought of something you say, and then I thought, nah, I don't want to say that, because if there is people in you who don't want to leave viewers for no reason, I don't care. If you do on a regular basis, bye. But if you have ever laid your hands on your woman with malicious intent to hurt or put her in pain or genuinely hurt her, get off the video, go somewhere else. I genuinely don't believe you should breathe the same air as normal people. Sorry for that tangent. Got personal issues with that type of stuff. Yeah, but yeah, you're disgusting if you do that. Anyway, back to the happy stuff. Right, yeah, let's get back to this disgusting man. Anyway, during his trial, Capellini pleaded not guilty, and not guilty by reason of insanity. Sorry, my dog's trying to jump around and get under the blanket. Give me a minute. I'm not too sure if her bit about us were loud. I do apologise because of frustration over his own impotence and an unfounded rumour that his wife was having an affair. During the trial, he claimed he never meant to kill her, but only wanted to destroy her beauty. Okay, he didn't want to kill her, he wanted to take away her life and her livelihood and her ability to look herself in the mirror and her ability to move on with her life. Oh, what a disgusting human being. The jury found him guilty, and when they considered his punishment, they were assured that if they sentenced him to life in prison, he would be classified as special interest prisoner and would never be released. But this turned out not to be true, and the country was surprised to discover that Dr. DeCaplini was quietly paroled in 1975, forced to defend their actions to an angry public. The California Adult Authority reported that the missionary hospital in Taiwan desperately needed cardiologists with Dr. DeCaplini's skills. Give me a sec, my dog's moving again. Right, anyway, back to this. What's going on here? This is some twists and turns I didn't expect, you know. Anyway, yes, Dr. D was quietly paroled, desperately needed a cardiologist with Dr. Caplini's skills. Prior to coming to the United States, Dr. Caplini worked in Hungary as a heart specialist. When he came to America, he was forced to repeat his medical education and chose to specialize in anesthesiology. I think, if I am correct, that is like putting people to sleep, right? Like before they're going to operations and stuff. I think. Let me know if anyone can. His parole was... His parole was contingent on leaving the United States and that he served in the missionary hospital, which he did, but only for a few years. In 1980, Dr. Caplini was fired from a Munich hospital he was working at, when a magazine article recounting his crime was made known to administrators. Oh God. Good. In 2002, reporters for the San Jose Mercury News tracked the Caplinis down to a home in Bad Schwischen, Germany. I'm pretty sure they try and put hard words to say here on purpose. Where he lived with his second wife, whom he met in Taiwan. When the reporter interviewed the Caplini, the doctor claimed he had suffered enough for his crime. Quotation, "I have done one mistake in my life, and I paid enough for it." No, he didn't. He then begged the reporter not to publish the story. Quote, open quote, "It would ruin my life," close quote. He then asked, open quotation, "I was insane," close quotation. That wasn't a question. He then added, he didn't ask. As it turned out, the Caplini had found the Taiwan missionary himself by reading news accounts, then told the parole board, "I will devote the rest of my life, however long or short it may be, to serving the poor and undeveloped countries whose pain and suffering I would he's made out of his wife in brutal fashion. When he's been locked up, he's then turned around and said, "Oh, but wait, let me go help people." And they turned around and said, "Oh, okay, no problem, sir, bye, thank you, thanks for your help." What's wrong with people back then? It's crazy. And then it only lasted 4 years. As the Mercury reporters revealed in their 2002 article, de Kaplany's parole was fake from the beginning to end. The wife killer had secured the support of several Catholic priests and one archbishop who lobbied in the parole board in secret on the doctor's behalf. So there's a whole team behind this disgusting man. This file. 2 years before he was tracked down, Dr. Kaplany became a German citizen in 2000, which placed him permanently out of the reach of the Californian authorities, who could have turned him to prison for violating his parole. Oh my god. This guy's gonna get away with this because he's managed to move away and get a passport. So wait. Dude, if I run a country and another country's like, bro, by the way, that guy, he tied his wife to a bed and poured acid over her, I'll be like, right, well then, and then they'd be like, can we just have him back so we can put him back in jail? And I'd be like, he's already on the plane, your way, I'll pay for the flight, thank you and good riddance. Right, like am I living in a different world or what? This is weird, man. The hypocritical audacity of the Kaplany continued in that interview when he insisted on being called Dr. Geza de Kaplany because he had both medical and philosophical doctorate degrees. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares when you're doing stuff like this. The 76-year-old then blamed the parole board for why he left the country. If I stayed in California, I would be on parole, but they gave me an authority. They gave up the authority with kicking me out of the country. You can't eat your chicken and have it too. It is, well, this is talking about 2015. He will be 88 years old, but it is unclear if he is still alive or dead. So this man is just out there somewhere, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Nah, he's probably dead now. What if he's 80? What did I just say? 88 years old in 2015, what we know? 26, right? Yeah. That was very close. I just got posed through the door and my little booty woke up and she was about to bark, so I had to pause that real quick. What was I saying? His age, right? He was 88 in 2015, so he's 99 now if he's still alive. Yeah, nah, he ain't doing nothing to no one anymore. Don't play pins in hell. Anyway, that was 2 more crime stories. Obviously some of them may not have good endings. They may not be fairy tale endings, but I don't know before I read them, unfortunately. So I'd be able to maybe add a good one and a bad one in there that ends good and ends bad or whatever. I am finding out what happens as you find out what happens. But yeah, this has been BeeGee.asmr. Please, if you have got this far and you enjoyed the video, please like it and subscribe and leave a comment to let me know that you like it. If anybody would like to suggest any crime stories, let me know. I can just keep doing these regularly, but I'll do like if someone wants to do a dive in like a big crime story that's been anywhere or anything like that, I can do that. But yeah, thank you all for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, week, year, life.